I love my mom. She's my favorite person to cook for, and she's the most special person to me in the entire world. This dish is guaranteed to impress your mother. Let's get started. What I'm doing today is a sweet potato gnocchi with a sage brown butter. And my mom is a vegetarian, so this is one of the first dishes that I knew she fell in love with of mine. It took me a while to get it down perfectly, but I have the recipe here for you today. This is one of the best vegetarian dishes that I know of, period. Let's get to it, let's clear this off, and let's get started. First step, what we need to do is roast our sweet potato. Here's one half, the other guy. Here is the other half. So we're gonna add some oil to the sweet potato, just a little bit, and I'm gonna take my hand, brush it in, get into all those cracks if there are any. And we're gonna use some butter as well, just on top like this. Lastly, we are gonna season with salt. Nice generous amount, because remember we need to get right into the middle of that sweet potato where there is no seasoning. And I season from a height, that way I can get better coverage. And now this is ready for the oven. I'm gonna bake it for 45 minutes at 375 Fahrenheit. What you're looking for, see how this spoon just goes effortlessly into the flesh? That means that it's ready to cook. You want this fully cooked through. If it's a little bit hot, that's okay. If you can't manage to hold it, then you can just throw it into a towel. You do want to spoon it while it is warm, and you can see how easily this comes out. This is the last of the sweet potato, sliding right out. It's nice and warm. It's ready to absorb all the other seasonings and flavors that we're about to put in here. We're gonna start with a couple tablespoons of maple syrup there. We have a little bit of cinnamon. I feel like living a bit dangerously, so we're gonna do a couple teaspoons of cinnamon and just about a tablespoon of brown sugar because the sweet potato inherently is already sweet. Very important ingredient that I wanna add to this is homemade vanilla extract. I'm gonna add in a couple teaspoons of that. We are going to add in some black pepper, just a little bit, and I need to add in some salt. Time to add the ricotta. Ricotta has been strained. You want to get as much moisture as you can out of this ricotta before using it, and I'm going to use about a decent amount, a solid cup, a cup and a bit. The nutmeg, if you don't have this guy at home, that's cool. You can just use the one that's already powdered form, but this is going to give you a bit more of that fragrancy. Actually, a lot more, to be honest. So we're mixing this all together, getting all these flavors incorporated. I'm going to give it a taste quickly. Unbelievable. The vanilla comes through. There are fibrous strings through this sweet potato, which you kind of want to get rid of. So it's very important that you blend it to get rid of all these inconsistencies so you have a nice clean dough. So I'm finished blending now. Everything is incorporated. A lot of those fibrous strands have disappeared, and now we have a nice smooth texture. You should try this. We're going to add in some flour, but only enough to bring this together. The exact recipe will call for a cup and a half of flour, but if we add too much flour and it gets too thick, then we can't use it. Mom always said slow and steady wins the race. Again, more flour. Notice how I'm adding a little bit at a time. If you add in too much, then you're gonna have a big problem. You're gonna have to add either more sweet potatoes to this, and then you can't call it my recipe. I have some flour on the counter, and I'm gonna roll this guy out. So it's barely sticking together, and we're gonna make our dough. Just continue kneading this into itself until a dough forms. And as you can see, our dough has come together nicely. It looks like a nice ball of dough. Very, very heavy. This will make a lot of gnocchi. Hope you're hungry, Mom. Okay, our dough's ready to form. I'm gonna cut off a nice piece, and I'm going to now begin to roll out my gnocchi. And as you can see, it's slowly extending itself, which is what you want. Now, again, it's a little bit hard to manage because I only wanted to add just enough flour to bring it together. As you can see on the inside, it's still very sticky there, and that's what you want. The less amount of flour you put into this, the better, the softer the gnocchi is going to be, the more impressed your mother will be. And I'm just going to take my knife and make slices here. Use your pinky finger, and you make a little indent, and that'll give you a nice shape too. So I have a nice portion here. I have about 12, 13 pieces. This is ready to go in a pot of boiling water. If your pot's at a rolling boil, you risk the chance and losing their integrity. So I just have a couple bubbles coming up here, and I'm gonna drop these guys in carefully, just like this. They may tend to stick together, so one thing you can do is just turn the pot back and forth, and that'll release them from the bottom. It'll help free them up a little bit as well. Once these come to the top, they are now ready to go into our pan over here, which is preheating as well. Those look delicious. They look like goldfish. So we have our pan preheated over here. As you can see, our gnocchis have risen to the top. Before I spoon them out, I'm gonna drop in a couple tablespoons of butter over here. Pan is nice and hot. Again, we do want to get a brown butter, but we do not want to burn the butter. Take some fresh sage and rip this in. Again, very rustic dish. This is an earthy dish. Shake this around, and right now the aroma is out of control. I'm gonna take my gnocchi here, drop it into my pan. As you can see, the butter is not burning. It's remaining brown, which is what you want. And just get this last guy here. And I'm just gonna swirl this around, give it a couple tosses. Now I'm gonna leave them. I need them to color on one side. I do want them to get golden brown, so I'm just gonna move them to the center. The gnocchi are still holding together really well, and that's perfect. They're still nice and soft and delicate. At this time, a little bit of black pepper, not much, and another pinch of salt to taste. As you can see, we have a nice golden brown color on one side, so if we don't have it on the other side, we're gonna flip these over, and this dish is just seconds away from being finished. You do wanna serve these right away. This sage brown butter that we're making together right now is what's really gonna take this dish above and beyond. Take it to the next level. This is what's really gonna impress your mother. This is what excites me in life. So, our gnocchi are ready to go. As you can see, they're perfectly golden brown. Tweezers are going right through the side, as you can see. That's fantastic. So it has a nice caramelized, crispy exterior, but the inside is still nice and soft and fully cooked through, which is exactly what we want. Our butter is nice and a brown color. It's not black, and it's infused with that sage. And I'm gonna go through and kiss every gnocchi with some of this sage brown butter. These are kisses from mom, just like that. Next thing we're gonna do is finish this incredible dish off. This aroma I'm getting from the cinnamon, the vanilla, it's honestly, it's overwhelming. We're gonna finish this with a little bit of Parmesan, but not too much, because it's already a rich dish. Just like that, and I don't want to take away from the beautiful colors that are on the plate. Lastly, we're going to finish with some lemon zest. This is going to wake the dish up and give it that freshness. If you want to hit the rim, that's fine. I think it looks really, really pretty to have that yellow around the side. In a restaurant, this would be a big no-no, but this is Chef Dev's show, so we can do anything that we want. And there, that's the perfect amount of lemon zest. This is a gorgeous dish. I have to try this out. Soft, tender, earthy, fragrant, fresh, cheesy, one of the best dishes ever. This dish is guaranteed to impress your mom. In fact, I'm gonna take it to my mom right now. Mom! Hey guys, if you love this video, if you didn't love this video, subscribe anyways.
Yeah, and mention
clean
the whole,
subscribe.
and if you've got someone you want to impress.
A clean sub, okay.
You go right through to if you want to impress somebody, yeah.
Come again?
If you've got someone you want to impress.
Okay, got it.
Again, yeah.